Manchester United 3, Porto 3, Europa League 3rd of October 2024 at Estádio do Dragão, Portugal. Manchester United started well against the Portuguese side FC Porto in the Europa League. Except for Bruno, the team selection was not bad. Just an early shot from a Porto player that was saved by United's keeper Andre Onana. Then for the next 20 minutes, Manchester United was in a leading role against Porto. Rashford scored a good goal by cutting through three opponents' defenders, Casemiro to Eriksen and then to Rashford. It was Rashford's individual credit to score. He is on form, and this season so far, he is consistent. Then, from his pass, United's forward Rasmus Højlund scored the second goal in an almost similar way that Porto's keeper Costa failed to save. However, that doesn't mull Rashford and Højlund's credits. This time from the midfield, first Højlund and his fellow countryman Eriksen won the ball and passed to Rashford. Rashford created two chances for Højlund and then Casemiro. Then, due to the negligence of Diogo Dalot, the Porto forward got the ball, and a few moments later, a cross was made inside United's box. Mazraoui and Samu from Porto both jumped, and the ball bounced from the Moroccan's head, which was punched by Onana and dropped on his left side. Lisandro Martinez wasn't guarding, so Pepe of Porto's head scored the goal where Onana was helpless. Porto reduced one goal deficit. The second goal United conceded was due to poor defending of De Ligt. He couldn't clear the ball, and the ball went to the Porto's player. After a few passes prior to their first goal, a cross was made and Samu of Porto scored his first and levelled the scoreline 2-2. De Ligt again failed, and this time he physically wasn't strong enough to block Samu from jumping and heading the ball into the net. So, several times under manager Erik Ten Hag, United lost a 2-0 advantage to an opponent. This was a blow to United's spirit of their performance. On Thursday night in Portugal, United's forwards did their parts, but the defenders let United down once again. Also, it was a bit sad that Rashford had the chance to score before the half-time break. He cut through too many defenders inside Porto's box. If he did shoot it early, then United could go ahead 3-2 at the end of the first half. Then, in the beginning of the second half, surprisingly, Erik Ten took off Rashford and put Garnacho. We all were surprised that a player in form, how on earth he was withdrawn. Garnacho did a little for the attack and just one good shot in the 88th minute that was saved by Costa for a corner. Other than that, he couldn't pass through Porto's defenders. He even couldn't pass or cross correctly for Højlund and then Xerxes. Anyway, United players looked a bit disarrayed and mentally down in the beginning of the second half. So then, due to his lack of concentration, Martinez let Porto's player Pepe bypass the offside trap and take the ball inside United's box. Then his pass to Samu turned into a goal, and Porto started leading 3-2. As time went on, De Ligt looked tired and weak to deal with Porto's Samu. Only Mazraoui and Dalot were in form. Then before the 90th minute, Porto had a few chances that were saved by Andre Onana. During this time, Erik Ten did good work by taking off De Ligt and Martinez and putting Maguire and Evans as central backs. Also, Ahmad went off and Antony was on the right wing. It was also disappointing that Bruno Fernandes got a red again in the 81st minute due to a high leg which slightly hit Porto's defenders. It was the reckless and very hectic nature of Bruno. He did not learn the lessons from the match with Tottenham in the EPL, where United lost 3-0 at Old Trafford. He got a yellow card in the first half, which we expected him to be careful. But neither he cared, nor he made any contribution by an important key pass or a cross. It was surprising that the manager Erik Ten did not take him off after 70 minutes. Luckily, even with 10 men, United did not concede any more goals from Porto. Again, I have to mention Onana saved us. As it seemed Porto was happy with a goal advantage and thought an extra man advantage, they went to defensive rather than offensive. So United's midfielders Eriksen and Casemiro took the chances. Relentless pressures from the 85th minute, United won a few corners against Porto. Then in injury time in the 91st minute, a corner from Eriksen was headed by Maguire into Porto's net. It levelled the score 3-3, and United survived from an almost certain defeat. Actually, in the first half, United's starting lineup that included Bruno was one flaw of Erik Ten Hag. The rest of the mistakes were made by Dalot and De Ligt, which was not Erik Ten's fault. It was a surprising lack of focus by Dalot and negligence. It was a basic football tactic. If he took the ball from De Ligt before Porto's player, then United wouldn't have conceded the first goal. That was the start of the downfall. So United must change the lineup with Aston Villa in the EPL on Sunday by keeping Bruno and Casemiro on the bench. Put Mainu and Ugarte, who will join Eriksen in the midfield. Must start with Rashford on the left wing and Ahmad on the right wing as usual. Højlund looks better to start as a forward. Now a few important pieces of advice for Joshua Zirkzee. He has to be cool-tempered with focus and plan during the match. He runs fast and works hard, but that must be through plans and coordination with his United teammates. Not just shooting or scoring goals, but also passing, crossing, and heading the ball to supply a teammate normally or at a key moment is also vital. Running fast and working hard without a plan or combination will hardly bring a victory for United. He can follow Rasmus Højlund to adjust with his teammates properly.